What's happening, YouTube? I was sitting at my computer, just chilling, reading different articles, just looking up information, checking email, same old, same old. And I had this thought. I was looking for information on the FAFSA deadlines for my financial aid for college, because I go to school, and I could not find the answer to my question, which is simple. When do I need to have the stuff turned in by, my application? Could not find an answer anywhere, and when you did find the information, or information pertaining to what you were looking for, it was vague and didn't really give you an exact answer. So I was getting frustrated, and I kept thinking, that's the one thing that I love about God, is that God's not afraid to just give you a straight answer. And I love people like that too, people who just give you a straight answer, don't bullcrap you, don't beat around the bush, just straightforward. And that thought led me to my next thought, which is kind of weird because I don't really necessarily understand how the connection happened. But I got to thinking, God definitely is a God who loves limited government. He gives us many examples of this. Now, some might say I'm making a stretch here, but just hear me out. God gave us 10 basic moral laws to live by and to live within. Laws and principles. He gave us many principles of morality for us to live by. But he doesn't tell you how to react to every situation. For example, little Johnny comes along and hits little Marie with a stick. You're little Johnny's daddy. The Bible doesn't tell you that you need to lecture him, then spank him, then send him to his room. But it does give you guidelines and principles to tell you how to be a good father, and tell you that you need to discipline your child and not spare the rod, that you need to not cause your child to be rebellious by being overbearing and being overly harsh in punishment and things like that. So it doesn't tell you what to do exactly to the T in a specific situation. It gives you parameters, guidelines, that as long as you fit in this area, you could do whatever you see fit. So, there's no set right way or wrong way to parent if you stay within God's guidelines. So that is a perfect example of the fact that God loves freedom, because look at the freedom he gives us. He lets us be ruled by his principles and law, but if within those parameters we have absolute freedom. And those parameters and those guidelines aren't that restrictive. And where they are restrictive, it's for our good. And that's the way government is supposed to be. Government is supposed to it's supposed to be based on principle. Laws are based on principle. And as long as we stay within those basic principles, we should be free to do what we please. I'm all for limited government, if you haven't figured that out by now. So that's why, I'm always constantly meditating on God and how he governs us, and how, in turn, we should have the same type of system to a degree. So, that was just a thought I had. You could disagree, agree, I don't care. But I find it fascinating to really meditate on that thought that, as long as we're within those moral parameters that God has laid down, and we're not doing sin, which sin is always damaging to us and to others around us. So as long as we stay within those parameters, we are free to do what we want and do what we please, as long as we stay in obedience to God. Why shouldn't government be the same? That's the way our founding fathers saw it. A nation ruled by principles, by laws, not by man. You see the difference? A totalitarian government wants to tell you how to do everything. They want to tell you what kind of food you can eat, what kind of this, what kind of that. They just want to give you specific sets of rules to follow in everything, and it just sucks the life right out of you. So I just thought it was interesting to look at that, and that's really all I had to say. I just wanted to share that with everybody, see what y'all think. We could agree to disagree. I'm pretty sure that that's right as far as I'm concerned, so that's all I got to say. Peace.